And welcome back to part 4 of week 10 of Ashes to Ashes. Sirius, Grick is standing there, and he says, "Right this way," and he leads you into the medical bay. And you can see that he's got a patch over the torso of Janus, whose shirt is off. And Janus's eyes are closed because Grick would have closed them out of respect. And he's got a bunch of empty stem packs and a couple drained back to tanks, and there's a ton of IVs going into Janus. And Grick looks at you, and you just see water building up on the bottom of his eye, and he's like, I just can't bring him back.
So I'm going to lay my hand on Grick in a consoling manner as I reach out through the force and just try to feel any last bit of this potential master that, has found his end here.
I think given with your recent teachings and how much you've been connecting with your past, you know that in order to do that, you would have to meditate. But your mind is distracted.
Yeah, it's way too much shit going on right now. So I'll take Grod and I'll say we should find it. Grick, thank you. I'll say we should meet with the others.
Yeah,
there's nothing more.
Definitely. Travis goes, Sirius, is your last name Stellar Gold?
Is this...
My name is Travis.
Travis, yes.
Artificial intelligence unit built into the ship. As you may know, with Coruscant and all of the communications issues that it has on these lower levels, sometimes delivering an email directly to the datapad is not possible until you return to your ship. I've emailed you an email directly to your datapad that is marked urgent.
Who is it from?
I don't know. I don't read people's emails.
Very polite of you. I approve. And as we, Grick and I exit the med bay, solemnly turn and, kind of look mournful or, sadly at my homie. But I know that his spirit, he's returned to the force, so it's not so bad. But I'm taking this one moment to let the loss pass through me and accept it, So this is that one moment. I look at him, I let the sadness wash over me and I feel it for this moment, accept it. And,
you feel peace. You've never felt this way when you've lost somebody, but you're not angry. You're confused. You're not sad. I think part of the reason why you're not angry is because DamJam did it. So maybe you don't want to hate him.
Yeah, I'm just more worried for DamJam. It's like,
right.
I can't believe it's come to this. Even though he's killed my homie, he's one of the best homies I've ever had in my whole life. So
yeah, and you've been with DamJam for years.
Yeah, exactly.
10, 12
the only
years
I
or
would
something
with that. What's up?
I think 10 or 12 years. In fact, I think based on Sirius so far as a character, I think your biggest crush is that a 10 to 12 year relationship is now just pretty much ended.
Well, I don't think it's ended, but it's definitely on. I got to find my homie before I can reestablish that relationship. I wouldn't consider it over because he's alive.
Right, that is true. I will say, very optimistic of you. I will say that, let's rephrase that. This is the first time DamJam shut you out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, since we got put together, yeah.
Right.
And we had just been through so much shit. We all just made it off Kessel. Give me a fucking break. If
all
that
of the
didn't kill
years
us,
before that,
was surviving.
He was there when he used to babysit Sarah. He was there for you when you found out that your wife was pregnant. He was there for you when your wife and you parted ways. He was there for you whenever you needed a job that was too hairy. He was the man that would drop everything to fly for you, even if it meant dropping his own obligations. So the fact that he's taken time to himself, I think you respect that, but it's also not characteristic of him.
Yeah, I have faith in him. I know he'll be able to handle it. I just wish I could be there for him,
And Grod,
but,
Grod and Viatar at this time come up the ramp. You're the only one in the hallway. Grick is still in the med bay, and the med bay door is shut.
And they see me opening up a data pad and checking it out.
Oh, okay. So the email says, "It's Cooper. Please read."
Well, seeing that it's from that, I'm going to, seeing Vitar come up, I'm going to say, is there any way that a message can be traced if I accept it on a datapad? Is it too late once it's on here?
No, we can backtrack it.
No, I don't
It may
want.
take a little bit.
I want to make sure it's not traced. Can you cover me?
Yeah, give me a minute. I'm like,
You've actually already encrypted the communications on the ship, so you could read it without it tracing.
all right. I'm like, yeah, yeah, Viatar, like briefly. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's something I've already taken care of with Travis. So I'm like, you're already okay to go. The ship's secure.
Well, I was hoping to save this for later to discuss with you after we had a minute to hash things out, but
Okay,
Coop
no worries.
needs
You
help.
take
Here's a
your time,
message.
whatever you need.
No, please come read this with me. I need to draw upon your strength, my friends.
And Grod,
And I'll open the message.
you are addressing Grod as well, right?
Yes, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that he says, "Come, let's talk about this."
And I'll say, Grouse, talk about what happened here. Why are you reading your emails? But you said Janus was just killed. Where's Janus?
I put down the email.
He's in the med bay.
And I say yes. Maybe we should go sit down.
And where's DamJam?
DamJam's gone. It did. That's just. I point down the.
Oh yeah,
the
ship
cargo
is
bay.
gone. The cargo
I'm
bay
like,
door is open.
Yeah, I'm like, and I probably would have pointed that out to Grod as we were heading up there. I'm like, the ships are that little fighter thing's already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever happened,
Well,
he bailed out quick.
it's pretty obvious that Janus attacked DamJam. Never liked that guy.
Actually, that is an incorrect assumption, Mr. Hahali, says Travis.
And how exactly do you know, Travis?
All of a sudden, the screen turns on, and you guys see the entire scene unfold from the view of a security camera of DamJam walking up and Janus kindly placing his hand on him, like, "Are you okay, buddy?" And then DamJam just stabbing Janus, and then Grick coming out and yelling at DamJam and pointing a gun at him, and then DamJam picks Grick up and slams him against the wall. Looks at Grick as if he's gonna kill him. Grick hides himself, and then DamJam runs towards the ship. The camera angle changes, and as DamJam's running, Grick picks up the gun, fires, but misses. DamJam looks back for only a second before hopping in the starship and leaving.
I think that's pretty evident.
You're muted, Archie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. As soon as it starts to play, like, I just listen to it and I close my eyes and I start to meditate because I basically know what's going to fucking happen. Like
And
hearing it.
Grod is just awestruck. He's just like his arms fall to his side.
Travis says,
Just can't believe what he's seeing.
"I was unaware that Mr. Jermick had implants, cybernetic implants." Viatar, you're like, no.
He doesn't have implants.
Oh, well then how do you explain
Trav-
this? The footage goes back, and it's a still, and right when he looks up at Janus to stab him, you see that one of the eyes is glowing orange.
Yeah. Travis, you and I have a lot to talk about. Listen, that's something outside of the and for a moment when he says that and he does that little clip, there's a flashback for Viatar, and something in his databanks flashes back, and you see a similar picture, but this individual has both eyes flash orange, and there's like this brief moment a lightsaber flashes out, and this individual that's standing in front of him is like, decapitated, just like head, and then that's the end of the clip. So it's like yeah, Travis, it's not implants. So
Oh, my mistake.
I'll
Shall I
inform
delete
you.
the footage?
No, I'll hold the footage. I actually archive it,
Done.
and
I will go on standby mode
and secure
let
all
the
hatches.
immortals mourn the loss of your friend.
secure all the hatches, please.
Understandable. You hear the cargo door going up. Sirius, you're meditating.
And the
You're meditating, and you hear.
Where's he
Janus,
meditating at?
He's just meditating right there in front of you. Let me finish, please.
Oh, okay.
And you hear Janus's voice. The email. It's important.
So I don't ask for any help or anybody this time. I just pull it up and start to read it.
It's a video. And Cooper is messed up. He's in a medical bed, and he's burned, badly scarred. And he's like, Sirius, I can't talk long, but your daughter's free. Sarah's safe. Tarkin tried to turn her dark will against me. Unfortunately, she cared for me more than she thought, and as she tortured me more and more. And then you see a hand, a black gloved hand placed over her, and you hear a voice, calm down now. Take it easy. And he looks over and goes, thank you, Mr. Skywalker. As she felt the love and compassion for me that she once had, she realized what she had done was wrong. And she pulled me off of the crucifix, loaded me into a ship, and flew me off to a secluded sector where we met with members of the new resistance. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me, my friend. And then it's done.
So, like, I'm
there
calling
is
on
a
all my
return.
different to keep
There is a return.
Brian.
It's not an anonymous email, by the way.
Snap. So, but that was emotional, man. Like, it's hard for me for Sirius not to, cry at that, because he had a lot of issues with Cooper, especially after the shit with his daughter. But to know that, like, he doesn't know for sure, but to think that it could have turned out okay.
You remember, 4 episodes back, you had images of him crucified on the wall, being electrocuted, and he cried out in pain. Yeah,
but I just don't remember how. I don't know what the heck would have made her turn good, except maybe if what he said is true. That seems like a small amount, but I'm glad. So it's a very emotional. I have to call on all my discipline to not start crying, especially with everything else that's going on. But I say, was that out loud? Everybody could hear that?
It was a video, so yeah, you did it right there in front of him.
I just kind of hand it to DamJam and to
he's
Grod.
not here anymore. He just killed your master and ran. Sorry. Yeah, you hand the tablet over to Grod, and the screen wipes. I'm sorry.
No, that was good, bro.
DamJam, you're sitting there in the cockpit. And you just said, I'm sorry. And right in front of you, it's like, would you like to make the call?
And DamJam pushes to make the call.
Yeah, so there's a ringing, and all of a sudden you hear a very familiar gruff voice say, yes.
Valen?
Yeah, who's this?
DamJam. Remember that favor you owe me?
Ah, shit. And then the camera pans out as the starfighter hits the edge of Coruscant space and just goes pow into hyperspace. The camera wipes. Where is Valen right now? What does it look like in his current location?
He's not too terribly far away. It's going to take about a 15-minute taxi ride from where he is to where they're at in this really shitty-looking brothel. I mean, nothing to what the Madam's place is. I mean, this is the F team.
Right.
Fucked up.
Okay.
And he's just sitting there.
They call this one the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, he's he's in the Sarlacc pit, and he's got his hat on, his just kind of these sunglass type things when he's traveling close to suns
Like
and whatnot.
post-apocalyptic goggles, or
Yeah, they're not. They don't really. They just kind of make it. They're basically just over glorified sunglasses. And he's sitting there with a drink, and this is the Schlitz of ale.
I've got something. Hang on.
Is it his Bantha Milk ad?
Okay, DamJam. Or Fallon. So this is the shit place. Are you just looking down at your drink?
Yeah, just looking at it, and he sits there and he picks up his data pad and goes, okay, and he brings it up and he's like, all right, it's Grod.
Hey, buddy, you hear from the bar. And it's one of those two-headed aliens that were announcing the pod race on Mos Espa. And one of them's got really long hair, and he's like, hey, man, are you going to order something? Like, we got women, destics, you want something? And then the other head's like, yeah, you're just sitting there all night. We ought to charge you rent. We got a beautiful woman here. Her name's Shalise. And you kind of turn your head to look at this woman, and she is beautiful, but maybe would be more beautiful if she didn't have holes in both of her arms and wasn't kind of skinny. And she's pushing out her sunken chest, and she's like, he goes, dude, man, don't even look at her twice, man. Just know that she'll do anything you ask for. She will go all the way. Here at the Sarlacc pit, we're all about doing whatever you want. As long as you don't kill him. That would be bad. Yeah, the last guy that killed one of our girls. Well, we were going to kill him, but he's kind of quick, so he got away. But don't do it.
And at this point, he just seems highly annoyed that he doesn't even want to be here right now, but it's been a while since any jobs came up, and now this is his meal ticket to at least hopefully get back into some game. The last time he talked to DamJam was before all this happened. So as far as Lucius knows, everything's cool and kosher. He's going to get paid by Cooper or something big.
Yeah, in fact, actually, the last email that you have from DamJam was a message that said, hey, Valen, just letting you know, picked up a huge deal for Cooper. The crew's delivering a box to Tatooine. I'm currently in the Kessel sector right now, but as soon as this shipment's done, I'm going to put in a good word, man, and see if I can get you a job. And that was the last you heard, and that was weeks ago. And even before that message, it had been months since you've heard anything from DamJam.
Right. So, I mean, and as far as he knows, Cyrus's name is still her. So.
Yeah, Sirius is still here.
Yeah, here. So, just being annoyed with this whole situation, he takes his last 100 credits, tosses them to this lady, and goes, anything, huh? How about you leave me alone? And gets up, puts his...
man, we're just trying to be like copacetic here, okay? Like we just wanna be chill, man. You don't gotta be like that. But free money is free money. So if you wanna be fuck off alone, you can be fuck off alone. The other guy's like, yeah, we're not gonna bother you again. Get out of our bar.
And he at that he just looks and he gets a little pissed at that, but he's gonna let it go because he knows that his meal ticket's right there. So he's goes, fine. You'll never hear from Lucius Valen ever again. And he walks out and starts heading towards the coordinates that DamJam sent him to meet the crew.
Yeah, so you step outside. calling a taxi you could do on your data pad, or they have like a kind of like a little CB radio on the post that you just pick up and you say, I need a ride, and you plug it in. So it's entirely up to you. But you know that if you use the one on the post, you're going to get a really shitty cab company. If you call one in, you can have one flown in from farther, but it's going to be a little more expensive.
Shit. He's gonna know that he just gave away his last 100 credits to just get this person alone, and he's like, okay, how are we gonna do this?
Shitty cab service it is.
Yeah.
Because they provide complimentary servicing.
Right, so he'll get on the horn and call the shitty cab service.
Yeah, so you call the shitty cab service, and it doesn't take long for this, like, it's almost like a station wagon that's just got a bunch of magnetic decals saying cab that could easily be pulled off at night and become something else. So it's like, and the door goes, and then you see the guy reach over and punch it a couple times, and it's like, and opens up for you to climb in.
Lucius will stroll in, sit down, and he goes, all right, do you know where this madam's, and he...
Yeah. He goes, oh, I don't blame you for the upgrade. Now, if you don't mind, I'm on the phone. It's an emergency. And he's sitting there with this comm device, and he's like, so are you okay? Oh, thank God. Who the fuck hijacks a garbage truck? I know. Well, I told you that racing district was dangerous. And is the garbage truck company going to pay for the bills? Are you fucking kidding me? And he's just livid as the truck's like, but the door doesn't shut. So he's sitting there cruising along, and it's just like, and there's fast food wrappers. One of them hits your face and is like,
and because the breeze is so bad, and he's not even going to try to close it, he'll just take his goggles and put them over his eyes just so it's not blowing in his eyes. And
yeah, you would scoot over, but when you look over, there's a used condom dried onto the other seat. And it's just like,
no.
Ugh. But you finally get to the proper district, and it's like, in fact, when you show up, everybody on this platform looks over and goes, as if you're the one, like, you're disgusting for coming to this ride. And before you could shift to get out of the car, the door shuts.
All right, so at that, he's going to go and kick the door to get it open.
Yeah, you kick the door, and it's like, and he goes, hey, tip.
And as he jumps out, he goes, yeah, don't go to the Sarlacc pit, and he'll walk off.
Fuck you! And he's like yelling at you as you're walking away. And then he reaches over and grabs a rope that's tied to the handle of the door and shuts it, and it goes, and takes off.
And he'll start heading, he'll look and go, okay. And you'll head towards the door.
Yeah, not a problem. So you go up to the door of the brothel, and you realize you have to stand in a long-ass line.
All right.
And that's when you see them. The sisters come outside the door, and the picture I showed you earlier, the blonde with the tattoos on her head, she's clearly the one in charge, and she's looking around, and she goes, that's Sirius's ship over there. Make sure if Grod's on it that he gets what the girls left for him. And they say, Roger, and they all start filing out towards a platform that you see with a burning Githrock, or not Githrock, whoops, a Gazanti-class cruiser.
Gazanti!
Yeah, and as he heard, not recognizing Sirius, but he recognized Grod, he'll casually walk up to them and go, hey.
They turn, and they all put their hands on their pistols. Except for the captain.
Whoa. You said Grod?
She narrows her eyes. Yeah, he's my boyfriend. What of it?
Is this Grod a Togruta?
Yes.
Perchance? Oh, okay. I'm supposed to meet with the crew. See, it's Grod and Vitar.
You do know
and
the ship's name is
here.
the Dragon's Ire.
And it's the Dragon's Ire. Is that where you guys are heading?
She looks relieved. Okay, just so you know, Grod is not my boyfriend. I would never touch that piece of shit with a 10-foot pole. But yes, it's this way. I protect the identity of my clients. So, you notice that they've got disruptor rifles on their backs, and they are fully clad in armor. And as she's walking by, there's a shimmer of a purple hexagon matrix that's actually, like, suspended an inch or two off of their armor. So they have some sort of shielding.
And noticing that goes, that's some pretty high-tech gear you guys are sporting.
They just all turn to you and don't even say anything. They're just walking, giving you the bitch face.
That's not the first time today that's happened.
You stink of the Sarlacc pit, one of them says.
Yeah.
You should go have your shots.
And probably an oil bath might do, too.
She kind of shakes her head at that. And the group of you get to the ship, but the ramp has been closed and it's been locked.
Alright, so how do we get into this thing?
She goes over to the landing gear where there's like a little comm station. Anybody aboard the Dragon's Ire? This is the sisters. We need access. We have a guest. What's your name?
Lucius Valen.
Lucius Valen. Viatar's like quickly pulling up data information.
Now, with Valen's line of work, would there be any information on him? Does he do a lot of illegal stuff?
He's a pilot. He does operate in smuggling operations. He's more contracted as a pilot. That's how he came to know DamJam. He worked for him a few times.
So I'm going to say you find like the Star Wars version of a LinkedIn account. Where it's
right.
like, hire me.
Right.
But that's about
Well,
it.
wouldn't we?
All right.
We've been with DamJam for like years now. Wouldn't we know? Like, wouldn't he mention Lucius? Along the way.
He might have at least once mentioned
Maybe
Valen.
I would say maybe to Grod, because I know we established that DamJam and Grod were like best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't use Valen very much, and usually with Valen, it was to smuggle something pretty up there, because Valen can
You're
kind of
touching your mic again.
And was a lot of they were very good pilots together. So if the piloting was really tough, them combined, one either piloting.
Yeah,
or
so
co-piloted
Grod's
didn't
probably
matter.
met Lucius in the past. At least
Maybe once.
Because Grod is DamJam's gunner. So if there was any situation where there was a two-pilot, I would imagine that Grod maybe has met him once. But long enough ago that you guys probably don't remember each other.
Well, I would remember the name. Like,
right, but
if
not
I heard
face.
the name, yeah.
Who was that? I say not over the call, but just to my homies. Lucian, do you know this person?
I remember it's a DamJam, buddy of DamJam. I think they piloted a mission together years ago.
Strange coincidence, but we'll see then, I guess. And I look to Grod and I say, I know you just scolded me for being too trusting. Perhaps you should come along and help me decide if we can trust them.
Yeah, I think that's best, and we'll talk about this email afterwards.
Yes, indeed.
So Viatar does his thing, and he's like, "Okay, hey, Travis, lower the front landing, the front ramp, please. The sisters are on, and keep tabs on this Lucius."
Yeah, Grod and I are on the way to meet him. We've already established that Vitar will go if he wants, so he doesn't need to be invited. He's straight.
Yeah. So Viatar, where would you be in the ship? And go ahead and move your character there. Here and Grod, you guys are already in the main compartment. In fact, the turbo lift up to the other floors are right next to you guys. So even if you came down, that's how you would come down, unless you wanted to take the ladders in the cargo bay. Are you in navigation right now, or the tech room?
I'd probably be in tech for
So
whatever.
that is right over here.
Yeah. One of the things I would have done though, I would have Grick secured in the med bay, and actually have the med bay door secured as well. No unauthorized access.
Is there a
So they're gonna
reason
have
why
to clear.
he wouldn't be in the crew hold?
Oh well, I don't know. It depends on whether or not he'd actually. He seemed to have like.
Oh, you know what? He's
Come
dressing
apart.
the body. He's dressing the body. That's what we'll say.
Right.
He's preparing the body for a funeral.
Okay.
Which he knows the tradition
Right,
is to
and-
burn the body. So
Right, and the other thing is I don't want anybody else finding out about the body. So for right now, if I can
Right.
secure the med bay, I told Grick, I'm like, you know, communicate with me. We'll get things figured out. So I'm in. Yeah, are we in engineering? Is that what that is? Number
no,
7.
that's the tech room. Engineering.
Okay,
all the way
tech
at the
room.
back of the ship.
Yeah, that's all the way at the bottom. I keep forgetting. My bad. Anyway,
That's all
so
right.
yeah, he's doing his thing. He's checking out, running background scans and keeping tabs on the sisters on board the ship, and also checking checking any of the what did you call it, the underworld chatter, to see if anything's popping up in regards to the crew or anything else, specifically revolving around that Crimson Tide.
I would say actually that everything's pretty quiet. I don't think the sisters would have ever, like, had any of that information leak out. But
Oh no! I was worried about the fact that the Black Sun might have
right. But I think the Black Sun isn't going to tell anybody that they just made a purchase. So there's no hubbub going on, and the only person who would have known was the dealer, who's dead. He actually created it.
Right.
So there's really not many people in that loop. But you do hear that Corsac is wondering what happened to their director, who has gone missing. He is not
Okay.
checked in.
Okay. All right. So yeah, with his access codes and stuff, DamJam's working with, or not DamJam, Viatar's working with Travis to try to craft a suitable response to the Corsac's inquiry.
Oh, okay, good. I like that. That might take a little diplomacy, though, so you might have to incorporate Sirius at one point, but I do like that you're getting that stuff ready. So let's say that when Sirius
we'll go ahead and
goes to
scrap it.
make that role in the future, that he gets some fat bonuses for it.
All right. Sounds good.
Excellent job, guys. I love that. This actually, it seems, I don't know about you guys, but it seems like maybe recent events has caused this team to whip into shape.
No, I can't agree more, man. Like, I complain about him, but he's putting in work now. Like, that's good shit. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Excellent. So that being said, the girls come up and they say, Grod, we've received an encrypted message. Somebody's apparently knew that you would be with us.
And you have this message with you?
Yes.
Could I have it?
They hand over a little hollow disk that you could put into your data pad.
Yeah, and I'll do it. Put it in my data pad.
And then they smile and nod and turn around and leave.
I'll say
That
thanks.
just leaves Lucius on the ship, huh?
Yeah, Lucius is just standing there as they fan out around him and go down the ramp. Lucius, do you have any bags? Like a backpack or
No.
something?
No, not really.
And
Uh,
are
describe
you
what
wearing
you-
like a duster?
Speaking and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
which is-
I look a lot like what I'm wearing, except underneath the duster, he does have like a flak jacket, and he only has a holdout pistol. That's it. He's broke as a joke.
But you're human, right? You're just...
Yeah, Krellian.
Oh, good. We'd have
actually.
to burn you.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
So, yeah, so you're just standing there. Sirius and
So I'll
Grod
look-
are right in front of you. You do
I'll look up.
recognize
I was
Sirius,
about
by
to-
the way.
Yeah, I was about to play the day that I look up, I see Lucius there, and I'll say, Lucius, long time no see. What can we do for you?
He looks and he goes, "Okay, yeah, I do remember you now. DamJam told me you were one hell of a gunner."
Well,
I guess about to
Meanwhile,
start
the
to find
camera
out.
pans up to the top of the ship where the gun turret is gone.
That was DamJam's fault.
Yeah, that was. So is the crimson
So-
blood streaked on the top of the ship.
He goes, "So, apparently DamJam's in some sort of trouble or something. I don't know. He didn't
Would
fill me in on it."
DamJam have told you about that his sister's dying, or would that have been kept completely secret?
No, the agreement that him and Lucius had, there was an incident where Lucius got into a little bit of trouble, and DamJam went out on a limb to get him out of the trouble.
Oh.
So the favor was, if anything were to happen to him, whether he died or he called upon him in a great moment of need that he needed him, that Lucius would come on as the pilot for whatever crew he was working on to finish out whatever contract or whatever's to go on.
So just so my audience knows, when I do any kind of role-playing game, I create a table of bonds based off of the Apocalypse World and Dungeon World system. And we rolled bonds for all the characters. Now, DamJam is not dead, therefore his bonds will not be resolved. But bonds with Lucius will be created as they present themselves in the game. So if Lucius saves your ass, that becomes a bond. So, Lucius, you are completing a bond. And in doing so, I'm going to give you, I'm going to say DamJam forwarded you like 200 credits.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so, no, DamJam did, yeah, he was vague. DamJam did not tell him why.
Yeah. He just, the contract was to come in and fulfill whatever contract he had. So as far as Lucius knows, that he's just helping as the pilot.
And
I
that's
read your
basically what he conveys.
Yeah, I read your thoughts just to see what you're thinking behind the scene, and also like your true intentions and shit.
Yeah, what are your intentions and what are you thinking right now?
His intentions are to make money. He's looking for a meal ticket. He also knows that he's fulfilling his favor because even though he does roam in the underworld quite a bit and doing some shady deals, he does have a sense of honor when it comes to a job. So whatever contract he makes, whatever deal works out, he goes through with it. So he's going to go through with it regardless. But from what he can gather, because I don't think these guys have told him about Cooper yet. So, and I don't think that's come up quite yet. So he's still thinking that there's money to be had, and also there's this little thought that maybe working with these guys, he might increase his fame reputation that he thinks he has. He
Okay,
thinks
yeah,
he's,
so
he
What was
thinks
your
he's more
thought?
famous than what he actually is.
What was your thought when you came up to the burning ship?
At first, I don't think he noticed the dorsal fin gone. He was trying to figure out, where the crew was and do that. So he's more focused on that. But he
Okay.
glanced up, and from what he saw, as he did glance up, he was more underneath the ship. So he didn't really see the fin. The fin was all blocked, so he wouldn't have seen it anyway if it was there.
Okay.
So as far as he knows, everything's cool and kosher.
And I correct myself, I said burning ship, but Viatar put out the fire.
Right.
So, thank you for role-playing that because...
So
I
it's
forgot.
smoldering.
No, not even that. Yeah, there's no fuel. It's all good.
yeah,
to go.
so
There-
ear to you, looks at you piercingly. He gives you like a real intense stare for a minute. You might feel a little bit of weight on you, but then it lightens up for a second. He puts his hand on your shoulder. I put my hand on your shoulder, and I say, I look at Grod apologetically as I say, I think you'll be all right for a while. What do you think, Grod? And this is like my attempt to not just accept everybody outright. People's minds. What do you expect?
I'll say, well, 10 minutes ago, I'd say any friend of DamJam is a friend of mine. But recent events have kind of clouded my mind. Like,
and as he hears that, he'll just kind of look kind of curious and go, okay, what's going on?
Grod will say,
So
so DamJam sent you here, huh?
Yeah, he just said he told me that he asked me if I remembered the favor I owed him, and I remembered. So
And what was the favor?
the favor was that I would fulfill whatever contract, obligation, whatever he had left as a pilot.
Well, DamJam was under no obligation to us. He merely stayed with us as a friend.
Well, apparently he finds you guys important enough to send me on this favor I owe him, so I'm here.
We could use a pilot, but we seem to find ourselves in quite a bit of trouble often. Is that
Hey,
a problem?
you know, trouble's just part of the job for me, man. It's nothing I can't handle.
it's become a way of life for us.
I look at Grod and I smile because I know this motherfucker has no idea what he's in for, and I say, we'll see about that when we Grod. As I kind of smirk, like, oh god.
Grod will actually say, well, it's your funeral, buddy. He's like, but I'll be watching you.
As long as the pay is good.
No response.
Hey,
Grod will visibly
serious
laugh.
silence. Yeah, I don't say shit.
Yeah. Do you guys not even tell him that technically you stole the ship? Well, I mean, the owner's dead. but-
and we haven't been paid in weeks. It's like,
Yeah, like we got out of prison, buddy. We ain't got shit.
it's-
How
So-
good are your senses, Lucius? Are you a very aware person?
Let's see. I can't remember. I think I am, but let me check to make sure.
No, I just mean as a character, not as a stats.
As a character, he tries to be. With being a pilot,
You smell
he's got to be
stale
aware
puke.
of the situation.
Like something smells like alcohol beer barf.
Oh, man, this smells like the Sarlacc pit. Wow, have you guys been to that place? Oh shit!
Grod, you hear the Sarlacc pit, and you know all about that. So when he's like, "Have you guys been to this place?" You're almost defensive when you respond. What is your response?
So, why? What are you saying?
Well, man, it smells like stale barf and
Grod will look down
Yeah.
the front of his shirt.
Yeah,
all the
I
Grod's,
look
barf
at
and
my
everything.
robes, like both of us are like,
Grod's got
nose.
grease all over him with chunks
Yeah.
of like carrots.
He just wipes it off. He doesn't care.
ooh, man, that must have been one
Perhaps we
hell of a
should-
party.
Perhaps we should find a, cleaning
Refresher.
droid. Boy.
Yeah, Grod.
a refresher that's actually doing his job.
All right.
Well,
Come with me. I'll show you to the cockpit, and you can tell me if you think you can fly this vessel
Yeah.
of ours.
Feel free to move your tokens around, guys.
All right.
Grod will say,
So-
can't do any worse than DamJam.
Yeah, I'll give you the tour, showing you everywhere, and very carefully avoiding the med bay, keeping a wide berth around that. I'll show you like a quarters where you can sleep.
So it sounds like you guys are going to the second deck.
Yeah, Grod's gonna go
Oh, okay.
to like a bedroom or something and play the message.
I want to
Oh,
go
okay.
find Vitar. Was Vitar with us?
Viatar was up in the
No,
tech
I
room.
was over in tech room.
I want to try to end the tour at Vitar so that we can introduce.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, finally, I mean, I know it's not DamJam, but like we can finally discuss what the hell we're gonna do.
You want to
After
move?
that.
Okay, well then I suggest if you're going to do that, heading over to the third deck, because you guys actually have a mission ready room. I'll move you guys over there
Yeah,
now.
bro, but listen, that's never gonna work because Vitar won't leave the fucking tech room.
Oh, he will
Look,
if you say that you
if
want to
you
get
wanna
together.
have a
I'm sure he
meeting,
will.
If Vitar is involved, you have to go to his ass, or he'll shut off and
Fair
just
enough.
ignore you.
Okay, fair
We're
enough.
going there. We're gonna have this meeting. I'm done dicking around. We're having the fucking meeting. Like, Mister, you have to make shit happen in the game. No, I'm making this shit happen. It's happening.
All right.
So-
Grod, real
so
quick, as you guys are getting to talk to Viatar and just doing the initial greetings, Grod kind of slinks off into a room and reads the message. And as you read the message, Grod, it's all of the women who work at the brothel, madames, and Grick is spinning unconscious on the wheel behind them. And there you go. Hi, Grod. Listen, we're not sure if you know this or if you know much about women at all. And they kind of giggle. One of them goes, Grod, you big dummy, we felt something metal in the bra that you have.
And that's the end of the message.
Yeah, they just go, love you. And then immediately they all turn around and go, wait, watch this. And they position 6 of them. They stop the wheel, and Grick is like, and they go, bye, Grod. And then all 6 of them at once go, grrr, and Grick's body just goes, and then the video cuts out.
Tough bugger there.
I'll save the video for later so I can show Grick.
Grick.
And
oh, and he was naked.
yeah, or even the better, I might play it over the screens all over the ship. But yeah, he'll after like realizing that, like, what are they talking about? He'll take the bra out and examine it a little closer.
Yeah, there appears to be a metal plate inside one of the paddings of the bra.
Can I get it out?
Yeah, if you
Can I
cut the
rip
bra apart.
Yeah, I'll cut it, try to get the metal thing out.
It appears to be a disc.
Is it some kind of special player that I need for this disc, or
Nope.
I'm just gonna put it in like the nearest computer then and
Yeah,
see
you
what
kind of
it
pop
is.
it into the computer next to your bed, and it's got a please wait loading screen and stuff like that, and it says this message is delivered to the offices of General Organa, and then just a bunch of like random text after that, and then a theoretical schematic of a large starbuster, and it's a weapon that can consume vast amounts of energies that can cause supernovas.
So I'm gonna, after all this information is passing by the screen and everything, Grod realizes that this is some serious shit, and this was probably destined for, somebody who's trying to fight.
Probably General
the last,
Organa.
yeah, the last of the Empire here, and
I think it
he's
makes
quickly
sense
gonna-
to you now why the last thing Valeria did before she offed herself was to make sure that the bra got off the ship.
yeah. So Grod's actually a little bit disappointed. He thought this bra was for him, but it turns out he's just a messenger boy. So yeah, he takes the disc out, pops it out, and puts it in like one of his pockets and everything, then goes into the 5-foot meeting room.
Yeah. So you guys are all standing in a closet. In fact, let's just cut to the chase here. There you go. You're all standing inside the closet. And there's 2 chairs for comms positions, and there is enough room for the other 2 to stand behind, but it's definitely not comfortable.
Batista's blocking the door. I mean, Sirius is blocking the door, like, into the hallway.
Okay, so...
It's one of those things where
They
Viatar
start
doesn't
putting
even
bars of
notice.
soap in socks, and they're like, all right. Welcome to the sock party.
So when Lucius approaches, Viatar does his usual greeting and sticks his hand out to...
Did you leave his profile on your screen by accident, or did you close out of that?
It's been closed out.
Okay. I thought that would be funny if he's like, oh, you're already doing research on me. Creepy. No.
Yeah, you hope I was like,
No,
already
but that's
past
the
that
first...
5 minutes ago.
He does... When Lucius goes to shake his hand, there's like a pinprick in the... And he feels like this buzzing sensation from his hand.
What the?
And then it's over. It's like done, you know.
Behind Viatar,
You know,
the screen goes into a screen saving mode, and it's one of those early, like, color changing kaleidoscope, early 90s screensavers that people are always like, it's so fascinating.
He's like, Viatar's like, I haven't had a chance to change the screensaver. Dang it. Anyway, so so his subroutines are actually processing samples from Lucius here. So
Okay, well, we don't need to know that information now, so let's just continue with the role play. We're going to say you guys already greeted
right.
each other, and we're going to go into the meeting aspect of it.
I received a message from Cooper. It seems he's found a way off Paradise, apparently, and he's with the new rebellion. And I pull up the message to try to find out exactly what he said. Find it.
Yeah, the message
and,
is played for you. The only other person in there is wearing a black glove, and he refers to him as Skywalker. And they say the new resistance, and
new resistance. Yeah,
which is weird
And I'll
because
feel-
you guys have heard of the rebellion and you guys have heard of the New Republic, but you've never heard of the new resistance.
right. That's why I was confused on the terminology. And I'll also fill Lucian in up to a point. You know, I'll say Cooper Industries is defunct. We think remnants of the Empire have taken over the company. I'll tell him that
And
much.
You guys are talking, and then all of a sudden, you realize that even though the screen is black, because the message is over, and you know how at the end of a video it's black, another feed opens up. There's another message.
What's this? I didn't see this. Quiet down. Like I was the only one talking.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's kind of turning towards the screen, and this blue Twi'lek's face, is it on? And you hear an older woman say, yes, dear. Dad, I don't know how you can ever forgive me for the things I've done, the people I've hurt. I've hurt you, and I've tortured Cooper. But Dad, there's something that I need to tell you. While I was there, I couldn't even believe it. I've read the reports, but Grand Moff Tarkin is alive. And he said something about the First Order and Starkiller base. I don't know what that is, but they seem to trust me. And that's when I felt overwhelmed. I felt compelled to run. Dad, I need you. I know you probably hate me, but Mother is here. She lost the baby. But I'm here. Find us. I can't give you our exact whereabouts because we're in transit, but They said that someone can come meet with you on Coruscant. Please contact us back. And then the transmission ends.
And Grod will immediately say, it's a trap.
Wrong voice.
Oh, and Grod does recognize the voice of the older woman who was speaking. He remembers hearing it from somewhere. But you would have to hear it again to find out who.
Grod will say, yeah, I think it's a trap. Play it again. That voice, the other lady's voice.
Viatar, you could probably slow down the play if you want.
Yeah.
So as
yeah,
he goes back to the black part and slows down the play a little bit, and then you see the text come up where it opens the file and it says, from the offices of General Valeria Zorro. And then it continues playing, and there is she's talking to somebody, and it's all a little slower, but you can still hear the voice. And Grod, you recognize it as Valeria's voice.
Do I recognize it? You said an older woman, though. Does it sound
not older like
older?
Oh, but older as in it sounds a little older than you remember Valeria sounding, but it does sound like Valeria. It would be like if you saw a video of yourself 7 years ago and you're like, huh, Right.
Yeah, so I'll say that's Valeria.
Mm-hmm.
But she's gone.
And when he says gone, Viatar puts up his hand and he's like, hold on a minute. And he goes back into the email files because he was the first one to receive an email. He types in the command, pulls up this email, and plays the message from Valeria that was sent to him directly. And he's like, check this out. It's like, "Hmm."
And it's the email that describes that Valeria is still alive, and it says, Grod, I'm still alive. That's the title of the email, and she would really like to see you, and the Star's End wasn't destroyed. Instead, it opened a breach, and she's been waiting 8 years to finally meet you again.
And he'll look at Viatar like he wants to slap him.
It's true, Grod. The Inquisitors that we fought earlier said the same thing, that Valeria somehow survived the crash with the ship, and they were searching for it and Vita in order to learn the secrets of the drive he created.
And
the ship didn't crash.
Apparently it traveled through time, Vita. Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. It wasn't originally designed that way, but it's possible.
Well, we may have quite a profitable revenue stream if we can bring that technology to market. But
Viatar, I don't know if I want to
Viatar's
slap
like-
you or kiss you right now.
How
And,
about you,
he'll
Lucius?
say-
How are you feeling?
Lucius is just all confused about what the hell's going on at this point.
this boy just wanted to make some money, and we're like, time travel, all this shit.
It's just
And
Viatar gets a string and he's like, look, string theory. He balls it up and he's like, we went from here to here and here to here and everything. Puts it back down on the table.
Okay, so, well, what are we doing then? I mean,
And
we can't just sit here. Obviously, we gotta.
Well, first
I guess
you
make some
definitely
money.
first you have to repair the ship.
well, that's when Grod will speak up and say, well, it seems like our destiny is with these rebels or New Resistance or whatever they call themselves now. And he'll pop the disc in and show these guys what's on the disc.
And that's when you guys see a schematic. And when the disc and the other videos are combined, like once they're combined onto the hardware, you see the schematic for this weapon that can take in a sun's radiation and charge up, and then turn around and use that radiation to supernova the sun. And then all of a sudden this footage cuts by, and you see a bridge of a ship. And Viatar realizes that one disc had one half the code, one disc had the other half the code, and when you combine them, it revealed a new message. And you see,
and you hear him whistle. He's like,
you see a Wookiee standing in the background, along with a Celestin, a human, and a very beautiful human woman. And Valeria is standing in front of it, and she's got a metal arm from what looks like an old injury. And she says, "This is Valeria from the Destiny Horizon. 8 years ago, I found a way to travel into wild space that took me on a journey that I never thought was possible. And immediately we were attacked by the Sith. We had inadvertently brought an artifact back to this universe that allowed Grand Moff Tarkin to be resurrected, but it is not Tarkin. It is the ancient power that gives the Sith all of their abilities, manifested in a mortal form. More importantly, he's researched Tarkin's work on the Death Star, and combined with the technology that he stole on the Star's End, he has devised a weapon that can destroy entire systems. We found out through our research that the next person that the First Order is going to be after is a man named Viatar Clint. I've met this man before. We need to find them before they do. What say you?" And then you hear another female's voice. "Well, as general, I say we take advantage on this as possible. As soon as possible. I need you to reach out to the ship immediately and see what you can find. Don't worry. I've placed the key with them 8 years ago. I just only hope that he's smart enough to discover it before it's too late." "Good." She says, "Please don't involve him, though. I do genuinely care about him, and I hope he finds me again." "Understood." Organa out, and then the footage cleans. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Oh,
So, normally,
No tide change. Oh,
we would be
man.
doing a tide change. But this month is for the celebration of April Fools, which we are recording these episodes in April, even if you might see the last two in early May. We are going to be doing something interesting. As soon as this video is done editing, the crew of Dust to Dust is going to watch this episode, which is the counterpart. They are the First Order troops who will be looking for this group. They're going to come up with the tide changes for Ashes to Ashes. And Ashes to Ashes, finding out that they've been dangled by a screen by the crew of the Destiny Horizon from 8 years in the making, they're going to make the tide changes for Destiny Horizon. And Destiny Horizon is going to turn around and stick it back to Dust by making the tide changes for them. So, as far as you know, this is goodbye for these players. But tune in, because shortly after we do our send-offs, I'm going to be introducing the crew of Dust to Dust, and we're going to be making the tide changes for this episode. Thank you very much, everyone. Hit a like and a subscribe. We're going to sign out. Archie, how you doing? You enjoyed this session?
Oh, man. Between my master's death, my daughter's all right and alive, Cooper's straight, I get to meet the Skywalkers if I can survive this. This was the most live episode ever, bro. I don't know how you continue to keep that pace up, man. It's impressive, and I'm tired, man. I need a nap.
Me too. I'm sweating. The camera can definitely tell. I'm sweating on this one. Thomas, Grod. It seems you've been lied to by everybody except for Grick.
And he's used to it, you know? He's
Right.
just, that's why he don't trust anybody anymore. And, you know, he says it every chance he gets.
Do you feel pretty foolish for not examining the bra earlier on and not just taking it and shoving it in your bag?
No, I mean, what kind of sicko would just examine a bra too close?
Fair enough. Viatar.
I mean, he's
Oh.
a pervert, but not that much.
The
Not that
only
much.
possible response. man.
That was the only possible response. Not, oh, that's weird. This one seems a little heavy on one side. Nate. Viatar,
Yo,
basically, this episode has been running around plugging the holes in the leaky ship and the leaky group. And you've been doing a lot of repairing on everybody. Almost like a priest.
yeah, it's it's funny the roles that Viatar has to play sometimes.
How do you
Being
feel?
so detached from humanity, though.
Right, and that's ironic because you're so detached, but how do you feel knowing that your invention is the key to the First Order inventing this device that can cause supernovas?
Well, his processing on that was like, hey, I've got a lot of work to do, because I got a feeling that if the crew decides we're heading to talk with whoever is responsible for counteracting this, he's going to have all his stuff in order, because this is going to be major information. So
I imagine that you probably feel a lot like Einstein did when he's like, look, guys, this molecular device called a nuclear fusion, we could probably create in this energy. And then it got turned into a bomb. And he's like,
ooh, I hate that.
Right. Excellent.
He was all like puffed up, and he's like, oh yeah, this feels great. And they're like, yeah, we just blew up Hiroshima. And he went, oh, that sucks. It's like,
yeah, absolutely. Oh, and we got Nagasaki. Shit.
Oh, dang. Talk about
DamJam.
double low. He's like, yeah.
Lucius, DamJam Chris. You pulled the wool over the players' eyes, and I'd like to just tell the players now that was not my idea at all. Chris was the one who approached me with the idea about potentially swapping characters because of the holocron.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't think he knew I was going to have him kill Janus, but, that's the kind of guy I am. How are you doing?
Good.
I see
Excellent.
that,
This
Archie.
is gonna be fun. I think. Very fun to see this new dynamic come in.
I loved when I gave you the option to kill Janus or have dire consequences. You lowered your head because you just knew that you were going to take this party and throw them on a loop that they would have never been able to come back from.
Yep.
I absolutely love that. Well, I just want to tell everybody out there in Homeland, DamJam is definitely not dead. There's more to go with this story that Chris has devised. But Lucius Valen will be playing with us for a bit. And definitely looking forward to learning the new character. But, again...
You need to make Sarah McLachlan a montage with pictures of DamJam so I can, do it.
In the arms of the angels far away. But you only have one picture of Jordan because you really didn't know him that well. Anyway, so basically what we need to do is sign off here, and we're going to be meeting with the crew of the, well, now destroyed gunship on the planet of Felucia. Our Dust to Dust crew is going to shamefully choose the worst tide changes possible, and I gave them every bit of ammunition this episode to make it possible. So, to my Ashes to Ashes crew, I love you, but I honestly think you guys are all effed. Again, this is James. Hit the subscribe, hit like if you haven't seen Dust to Dust. Go to the channel, see Dust to Dust, and all the players' channels are linked below. So, by all means, check down below and click on the links and see what they got to show you. Bye-bye. And we are live. You are watching Ashes Ashes, but it's my Dust to Dust crew who gets to make the tide changes. So we're going to go around the table. We're going to do the tide changes for them. And we're going to start with Ethan. Ethan, what's your tide change for the group?
My tide change is, as DamJam has left to do some soul searching, he finds his way to Luke Skywalker's academy.
Oh, I like that. So by the time DamJam comes back, he will have been introduced to Skywalker. And that's maybe how he gets fixed, or maybe that causes more problems.
Exactly.
Because Luke did a great job with Ben Solo. All right.
He has such a track record.
Yeah, he's really good. Yoda's like, you shouldn't do that. This is how things are done. Luke's like, bye. All right. So, and then he's like, why'd my hand get cut off? I don't get it. The Force is so unfair. So, we are going to cut over to Joshua. Joshua, what's your tide change for Ashes to Ashes?
So, my tide change will have most immediate impact on Ashes to Ashes, but it touches on the events that I was told happened on Destiny Horizon as well. where they encountered Thrawn in wild space when he was chasing them.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say that Thrawn and his ship find a Sith tomb while out in wild space. And that a holocron that is lost whenever the Empire falls, that he had found, finds its way into the hands of Sirius's daughter. And she was lying when she said she's lost her connection to the Force.
Oh. Okay. Awesome. Josh, I'd ask you to give a dab for that, but you seem way too cool for that. So we're going to move to our other character who plays Skirb, Sean, a character in himself and not a player by any means. What is your tides change for the Ashes to Ashes group?
I'm going to say in Raul's shop is their first impression of it is just slapstick comedy, Three Stooges, and it kind of doesn't bode well for the confidence of who's supposed to be repairing their ship.
Oh, so here they go. They've been told this guy's totally trustworthy and capable.
Right.
And there's like some flying circus music playing in the background. Like, yep. And then there's
Maybe
a
a
girl in the
certain
corner
Cantina
who's...
song.
Oh, man. That would be really funny. Raul's like, turn that shit off. You could really use it as a form of torture if not applied right. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you to all my players for participating. And if you just watched Ashes Ashes, hope you enjoyed the episode. Hit that like and subscribe button. And hopefully these players murk things up for Ashes to Ashes even more than it already is. And tune in next week, because next week is going to be Dust to Dust. And when we record that one, it will be the Destiny Horizon crew who comes up with tide changes, which Ethan gets to cheat and be in both campaigns so he can make it a really good one. They find millions of credits in the Moff's Palace.
Yes.
Thank you very much and have a good one. Bye-bye.